there for the Housing Authority. I don't think I'm seeing everybody.
Okay. You know, if you click on participants at the bottom of your screen, you can see everybody's name.
Okay, let's see. Okay.
Does that help? Or I can just tell you.
Yeah, I guess, but so I'm only seeing you and Richard from the Housing Authority. Is that?
Gary's there too.
Oh, Gary. That,
So far,
okay.
that's us.
So that makes a quorum. Okay.
Yep.
Sharon, if you click gallery view, it will show you all the people that are there.
Okay. I'm fine just looking at the participant list.
Okay.
That makes that way I can spell everybody's name right.
Okay, Mia's
Mia.
joining. Great. Morning, Mia. Muted. Hi. How's all the lead up to all the town stuff going?
Oh, it's exciting. It's brand new. We've never done this before in however many years, so it's going to be fun.
I don't know if most of you know. Mia, what's your the position, that your name in the town for what you're doing?
The position is called Media Operations Manager, which is encompassing everything that has to do with our public access TV channel.
So
among which is recording it for town meeting, recording town meeting to put on the channel. So doing the AV for that.
Great. All right. Well, I'm hoping Sarah can join us. I haven't heard that she can't, but I know sometimes she has some connection issues. So
I did have a couple of regrets from the partnership. So
but
anytime you want to get started is fine. Anyway.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we're good. We will call the joint meeting of the Wellfleet Housing Authority and the Local Housing Partnership to order. We're going to start with the minutes from the Local Housing Partnership.
So we sent out the minutes of the meeting of August 6th. Give you a minute to take a look at them if you haven't already, and I'm happy to entertain any questions that you have. Otherwise, someone would like to make a motion. Somebody on the partnership make a motion for the minutes.
I wasn't there, but can I make a motion?
I don't.
I wasn't there either.
Oh, maybe I should move them.
You'll still need a second, right?
If you've read them all, if you've read them, you can still vote, I believe. If you've been the product of everything that happened and you read the minutes, I think you can still vote.
Okay, so I will move the minutes. Somebody second them.
I'll second them.
Excellent. Are there any questions? Is that a question? No. So all those in favor of the minutes, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? Any abstentions? Very good. The minutes are passed. Susan is visiting her grandchildren, so is not joining us, but thank you, Susan, as ever. And thank you, Sharon, for taking the minutes for this meeting.
Okay. I have to run into another building because this charger apparently is not working. So stay tuned.
Okay. Well, it's a perfect time for us to take up the Wellfleet Housing Authority minutes. I just did let Sarah in, Sarah Pachukis. Are you there, Sarah? Let me see.
No.
No. Okay. Well, hopefully she'll keep trying. I'm going to try to share my screen because I put Richard's minutes up. And let's see how I do. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So this is for the Wellfleet Housing Authority to vote on the minutes that Richard took for us from the August 6th joint meeting. He sent them out to us again yesterday.
Elaine,
Yes.
are we in the discussion phase?
Oh, well, I guess we have to have a motion to
motion.
approve in second, and, or no, yeah, sure, let's discuss them.
Well, that's all right. I can move the minutes.
I second.
Very good.
Any additions, corrections, comments?
I'm not sure who the participant, Lauren Demoy.
Yeah, I think she's a representative of a firm that might be interested in bidding on
Okay.
Lawrence,
So,
or an engineering company. She had contacted me once in the past.
okay, she's not an LHP person.
No. Okay, so okay, so she should actually go down into also attending or
Other,
something.
yeah, whatever.
Okay.
And can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Is the septic going to be on September 8th, or is it going to be on another date?
No, Mike, I just saw an email from Mike that he did ask for it to be on September 8th. Yeah. It's going to be a big meeting. They did remind me about getting the RFP to them for the 8th, and I did contact Laura, and she is going to do her best to get it in time. If for some reason she can't, we are going to have to postpone that part of it. But I will know by tomorrow at noon. Okay, any more comments or questions, corrections on the minutes? So Richard, you'd be okay moving Laureen Demoy to the also present category? It's muted, maybe.
It's muted.
Okay. Let me
You have
see.
the name of her firm?
I don't.
Okay.
I could possibly find it.
Well, we'll just say, we'll move it up. Don't worry about it.
Okay. 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 All in favor of the minutes as amended? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Great. Still
Thank
no
you.
Sarah. No Sarah. I'm going to stop screen sharing and see if Sarah's here. Wait, I'm going to try again. Okay, Sarah. Yay. You should be here. Hello, Sarah.
She's still connecting. I don't think she can hear us yet.
Okay, all right. Next on the agenda is the town election, which is coming up on the 8th, and town meeting, which is coming up on the 12th. One of the most important things that we both have to do, each group today, is vote on to recommend Article 31, which hadn't been done yet. And so we should do that, I think, first thing. And then Gary and I will send the recommendations to Dan Silverman, so he has them. Article 31 is the article about switching from our current Affordable Housing Trust Fund to the Wellfleet Municipal Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which will give us the ability to expand how we can use the funds, especially to rental assistance. So we won't always have to be dependent on CPA funds in the future for rental assistance. We could also potentially use affordable housing trust funds. Does anybody have any questions on it? The explanation that we gave in the warrant was this: the Massachusetts Municipal Affordable Housing Trust Fund legislation, enacted in 2005 and revised in 2016, sets more consistent and clearer guidelines for the use of funds to create, preserve, and support affordable housing initiatives. It's more consistent and clearer than our current trust fund that was created by special legislation in 2006. Any questions from the Housing Authority on that?
Elaine,
Yep. Richard?
I move that the Wellfleet Housing Authority vote to recommend Article 31.
Is there a second?
Second,
Any more questions? Sarah, are you here? Her name's in the participant list.
Yeah, but it says she's still connecting to audio, which means she can't hear us yet.
Okay. I'd love to have her included in this vote, so let's,
Do you want to text her? Do you have her number? And just say, maybe leave and try again?
oops, wait.
how about while you're doing that, we will take the vote of the partnership
Go for it.
for Article 31. I see that Anne has joined us, so we do have 5 participants. So I will ask for the vote to support Article 31 on the town warrant. Is there a second?
Second.
Excellent. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Who was the second on that, please?
Who seconded?
Ann, I think
I think it was Anne.
yeah.
Ann? Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
So it's been moved and seconded. Are there any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Very good. It's approved 5-0.
Okay. Sarah had to step away for a few minutes, so we will hold off on the vote for the Housing Authority.
Elaine,
Yes.
I don't know what the legal status of the warrant is, whether our previous votes for previous articles, but maybe in the interest of just making sure that everything is tight, that we vote on the other articles.
It's printed in the warrant.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Right, no, it's, yeah, I mean, unless we want to change the number of people voting.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think the less things we have to change at town meeting, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question while we're sort of in limbo here? I received a mail-in for town meeting for some of the issues. But if I sign that, if I send that in, can I still come to town meeting?
Those are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
Elaine, you answer.
Can you explain that to me?
Well, yes, it's very confusing this year. What you received is the ballot for the town election, which is taking place before the town meeting, which is a bit of an unusual situation. So they're 2 separate things, the town election and the town meeting.
Okay,
So you want to fill out the ballot for the election and get it into town hall by September 8th.
okay,
And sooner, if possible.
okay.
Yeah, there's no way to vote remotely
that's
for
what I
town
was-
meeting. Town
I'm
meeting,
confused, okay. But that's nothing
yeah,
new.
a lot of people are. So for the election, you can vote by that ballot you got in the mail, but for town meeting, the only way to vote is going to be to attend town
Okay.
meeting.
Could you clarify something for me on that same note? Were there not Prop 2.5 things requiring a vote that were also gonna
Yes,
end up
that's
being
what I'm
voted on before town meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
so that's what I'm referring to, the Prop 2.5 stuff.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Which includes our request for funds for the water.
Right.
Right.
So that's a little confusing because typically we have town meeting and then the vote.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
This-
And so this is actually preceding town meeting.
you see?
Oh, okay.
Has to be in before town meeting.
There was on Monday night, the town sponsored a Zoom info session.
Right.
On the ballot questions, there were only about 28 people.
Yeah,
And half of them were the presenters, so.
right.
We did record it, and it's available on the town website and the town YouTube channel in case anyone wants to see it after the fact.
What-
What does the Prop 2.5 votes require as far as amount of votes?
It says
You know,
it on the form, doesn't it?
I don't know, if a town meeting, do they all require a 2/3 vote? I know that the water article will, because it's a borrowing article. I don't know if the others are
Let's see.
2/3.
Yeah, I mean, the actual vote for, the Prop 2.5, literally the physical vote for the, not just in support of the article, but the actual override. Is that just a simple majority? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like-
on the election, I believe so. I don't know, though.
They also, article says whether it needs 2/3 or a majority in the book.
In the warrant.
Yeah, right.
But does that apply to the voting in the election?
And how many votes are required at the election? So if people are like not informed or, like if only 10 people vote on it. does
Right,
that
I guess
count?
that's my question. Yeah.
There is I don't believe that there is a minimum. If 10 people vote, then the opinion of those 10 people will carry the
The weight.
weight.
Yeah.
And I do believe that certain borrowing articles require a 2/3 vote, but I think we need to check on that.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with Dan Silverman later and send out
Yeah.
an email with the
Okay.
answers to those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That to me just seemed like a confusing thing for the voters because typically there's more discussion at town meeting ahead of the actual override
Yep,
ballot.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Why are they doing it this way?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think what I was told that scheduling between the state election, the town election, the town meeting, and a pandemic was
Yeah,
challenging.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in talking with Dan Silverman, if I understand correctly, if for some reason the question doesn't pass at the election,
Mm-hmm.
it still gets taken up at town meeting.
Okay.
And there is some provision that you can schedule another election within a certain period of time,
Right.
which could actually coincide with the spring town meeting and election.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
I think he had to maybe do a little more research on that question.
Uh-huh. Okay.
As long as
Thank you.
we're talking about town meeting procedure, we've had discussion with Dan Silverman about what's called a consent calendar. So you may see this come up at town meeting where they take all the CPC articles and they combine them as a single entity for a vote. And anyone can object to
Uh-huh.
any one of them, which they would then choose to take separately.
Uh-huh.
Even in a consent calendar, they can discuss them separately, but then the vote would be for them collectively. And just as an FYI, there's already been one of them, which is the Cemetery Commission, which I think the select board has requested that it not be part of the consent calendar, but we'll see what happens actually at town meeting.
Mm-hmm.
The other piece of information, and I'm going to put up the draft of our newsletter, which I want everybody to see, and it's basically all about town meeting. So, hey, hi, Sarah.
She's muted.
Hey, she's back. Okay. All right, I'm gonna. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Now that you're here, we need, the Housing Authority needs to take a vote. We're gonna, Richard, would you withdraw your previous one and we'll start again? Now we lost Richard. Here he comes back again.
He's back. No. He has to unmute.
Yep. Hi, Richard. Welcome back.
Huh?
Welcome back. You went away?
I heard, the last thing I heard was Gary said we were in discussion with Dan Silverman about a consent calendar, and you may hear about consent calendar. And then I got just completely cut off.
Okay, well, we'll take that up again when we look at our newsletter with all the town meeting info. But I'm going to ask us, now that Sarah's with us, to, if you would withdraw the motion you made about Article 31 and we'll start again.
What do you need me to do? Isn't that still on the table?
Okay, all right, Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah, hi, Sarah. I move that the Housing Authority vote to recommend, excuse me, Article 31, which is the new trust. That's what I moved.
It's the one about changing to the new Affordable Housing Trust Fund that also covers being able to use the money for rental assistance.
Oh, yes. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so we had Richard moved it. Mia, did you second? Who seconded it?
I didn't second that. Gary did.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was moved and seconded to recommend Article 31. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Excellent. Thank you all. 5-0. Okay, I'm going to try, so the other thing, I'm going to try sharing my screen with the draft of the newsletter, which we would love to go out tomorrow, but it still needs some work. Oops. That's not it. I'll try one more time. If not, we'll just talk through it. I don't think it's letting me do it. Yep. Okay. Well, anyway, Gary and I have been working with Pelinda at the CDP to get a newsletter out that's all about town meeting. And the first part of it is about the schedule for town meeting, which, as we said already, includes the town election on Tuesday, September 8th. The next night, Wednesday, September 9th at 7, the town and the forum are sponsoring a pre-town meeting Zoom, right? Yeah. So that would be, yeah, that would be a great thing for everybody to tune into. And then the town election on Saturday, September 12th. The town website has a whole host of information about things. So I would encourage everybody to go there. Danny Silverman did a great thing called What to Expect When You're Expecting to Attend Town Meeting. Very cute. I had info handouts on the thing. I think you've all seen the handout that the water commissioners have done in support of question 1 and Article 10. And that will be included with when people will be handed a packet of info when they come. Gary has helped with Mary Rogers, put together a handout with all the CPC articles. You want to talk about that at all, Gary?
No, just that, it's fairly straightforward. It just encapsulates some of the information that's in the warrant. And there's no overhead at town meeting. Is that correct, Mia? So in lieu of any kind of presentation materials, we put together a single sheet that describes all the CPC articles.
Right. In terms of question 1 on the ballot, which is about the water system, and Article 10 on the town meeting warrant, does anybody have questions or want to discuss it at all? We know it's probably going to be a challenging vote. Jim Hood has done a lot of great putting together background information.
Elaine, you did a really good Q&A with Jim video. Thank you for that. It's up now, and you can distribute it to people. But it was very
Courtney
informative.
sent it out this morning.
Good.
Yeah, she did. Yes, Jim and I did a Q&A based really on the handout that he did, and so that's available for people. And I sent out to about 25 of my friends information about it. If any of you feel comfortable doing that, using Jim's handout, I can send it to you all again if you need it. I just think the more people that have the information, and some have gotten back to me with questions, which is great. You know, that's what we want. We want people to be able to ask their questions and get information.
I put my sign up. Hopefully that will get some people to at least think about it.
About it, right, right.
We actually had a discussion. Some of us live in sort of remote Wellfleet locations without any traffic, but if any of you are so moved and are in a place where actually people might see it, to put up vote yes on Article 10 water, that would be super. I think the other thing is when you get the newsletter, if you send it out to your family and friends, and maybe we'll talk about who we want to send it to get more information out, I think it can only help the cause.
So any,
One little piece that's confusing, what confused me on the sign was, so it's vote yes on question 1 on your ballot, but it's warrant item number 10.
right.
Yeah,
So you just have to be clear.
yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
The whole process is a little confusing because then all the other ballot items are 2A, B, C, D, E, etc. on the warrant, but different question numbers on the ballot. Mia,
Gary,
if anybody wants to talk either in support or opposition, they'll have to use a shared microphone?
so here's what we're going to do. There will be 4 wireless microphones on long boom poles held by volunteers that are going to be at each corner of the field. And when you stand up and Dan Silverman recognizes you, the closest volunteer will come running over and hold the stick out, and you'll be about 3 feet away from them. They will wipe down the mics in between, but there's only, you can't wipe down the inside of the microphone. So theoretically, it's possible you could be sharing some droplets, but that's the best we can do, unfortunately. And
Everyone's got to have a mask on,
we will
correct?
we're asking people to keep their masks on while they talk, for sure. Dan is going to be very clear
Yes.
about that. And we're sort of hoping that it incentivizes people to keep their remarks as short as possible.
Good luck.
But yeah, we can't provide microphones for every single individual. We could have 300 people.
I would encourage those of you who weren't on the election ballot Zoom thing to go to the town website and you watch it or you listen to it, Mia. You can watch it, right?
The Zoom forum? No, you can watch it
Yeah, because
on the website or the YouTube channel,
yeah,
which is called Wellfleet Town Media.
yeah, because there was information presented on all of the questions, and people had questions. It will give you maybe an idea of the discussion we might be facing at town meeting. So that would be great background to do that. I didn't say anything until the end, and I'm not sure they put the Q&A session on afterwards, but
Your Q&A session with Jim?
no, at the election Zoom forum, when I looked online, I only saw the presentation of the questions. I didn't see that the little Q&A.
I'm not sure if they recorded that. I'm not sure. I'll check.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of pushback from the people that were there?
There are some questions and pushback. You know, in crafting the water article, the water commissioners and the consultants looked at 2 scenarios,
Yes.
and they chose one.
Mhm.
They chose to bring new pipe from the Coles Neck water field at Gristmill Way down Route 6 and Briar Lane into town.
Right.
The other option would have been to replace the small pipe that
Orange.
goes along Coles Neck. So there were 2 options. The water commissioners chose, but I believe there's some interest in why they chose that one and what the benefits are, the pros and the cons.
But there was less negativity than I was expecting, I think. Just people were curious and they had questions, but they weren't storming in saying, we don't want to do this.
Right, yeah.
They'll just show up.
Maybe.
Elaine, would the existing one that they chose not to replace, would that remain functional?
Yes, it's functional. It just has a limited capacity. It's the secondary redundant source.
But it wouldn't be diverted. It would still exist. Yeah.
It would still exist. And I think one of the questions to Jim that night was whether, it had at least had the capacity for the potential development of all the undeveloped lots that are in that area. And I said yes.
Elaine, if I understand it correctly, the improvement in the water system will improve the flow throughout the system as well as the capacity. So wherever you live, it will be an improvement. Is that true?
I'm writing down questions that I'm getting from people. I'm going to get back to Jim to verify that. There's a lot to learn about our water system, and the questions are good. It's helping me understand it. He has a great map of the system, which I found very helpful. I can't remember if we sent it out to everybody, but it's really great to see. And I don't know if that will be a handout. That would be a great thing to have projected, but that won't be happening. So I don't know if they're going to photocopy the map, but.
It's worth when people are asking questions. I mean, a lot of people in town are not on the water system.
Right.
And might be like, why should my taxes go up? But it's good to remind them that this will improve fire safety as well.
Right.
Well,
For everybody.
As well.
Why for everybody? See, that's why will it improve for everybody?
Because it'll improve flow to the fire hydrants.
But if you don't have see, here you go again. If you're not getting the piping to your area.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah, so I think that might be there might be more pushback if you start. Yeah, just that's.
I think one of the main things is that there's a DEP requirement that your secondary water source provide adequate flow.
I think
and our secondary water source does not.
Yes.
And certainly adding housing at Lawrence Road, you know,
Yeah.
it's essential for it to happen because it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be a great situation. I mean, as Jim says, the possibility of the main water system going down is slim, and that's a very good water source. But they did have a problem in the summer, and in fact, the $100,000 grant that we got allowed them to fix the problem with the current system, part of it. They were able to use that to do part of it. So it's really...
You know, I would say two things. I'm sorry, Elaine.
Richard, let Richard back in, I think. Yeah.
Is it okay to speak?
Hang on just a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Two things, Karen, that I would say is we, you know, especially in the current environment, the people who are the experts, the engineers and the water commissioners chose the path through Briar Lane.
Well,
I have to, no, with regard to, you know, we have to let the experts and the scientists and the engineers do their work. And that was what they chose. So that I would support it based upon that, number one. But number two is that it does provide water to Outer Cape Health.
Okay.
Which almost anywhere in.
Oops. Oops.
Gary, you muted yourself.
I might have done that. I was trying to.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So did you hear what I said about Outer Cape Health? That it supports Outer Cape Health, and that's a service that many people in town use. But I think the last thing, which is the most critical for our groups, are that without it, it will be very difficult to do the kind of affordable housing development. So if it doesn't pass at town meeting, we will really have a tricky situation in terms of what we will do for affordable housing. So we really do need that, and we need folks to really push to support it.
I totally agree. I don't not support it. Don't get me.
No, but you get questions.
No, all I was saying is to bring up fire hydrants to people that aren't off the grid there might not, be such a good thing. That was all I was saying about that. For some that would push, for people that would push back and say no. That's all. Maybe never mind.
The article, the question does not list the amount of the borrowing requested. Article 10 does, and it's 3.8 million. Working with the town accountant, we have the information that if the town had to handle the entire borrowing amount, which we hope will not be true because the water commissioners and the task force are committed to chasing as much grant money as possible, it would be a $35 increase in taxes on the average, the $500,000 house. So I think it's kind of a example of when a community does it together, it's not that onerous of, an impact.
And isn't there a reduction in things like homeowners insurance based on proximity to fire hydrants?
And we got hooked up to the water, and I gleefully called the insurance company, and they said, oh, that's very nice, thank you.
Oh.
No change?
No.
Some communities, there is a clear reflection of your rate versus your proximity to hydrants. So,
maybe
I-
maybe other people have had a better success with their insurance company.
yeah, I guess maybe it could vary by insurance companies. So maybe we lobby for that.
Yeah. And I think, Gary sent all of your committee, and I sent our committee the letters of support that we offered for the Mass Works grant
Mhm.
that Mike Travato and Jim Hood wrote, and it's been submitted. It is a competitive grant round. Some towns like Brewster didn't get it the first time, but they got it the second time. So, depending on that, I mean, the amounts that the other towns have gotten have been 1 million, 2 million. So it's significant money. So we
Mhm.
do anticipate, if all this passes at the point before it's all said and done, it will be costing each of us less. But even if not, the impact shared is reasonable, pretty reasonable.
Mhm.
Maybe it wouldn't feel that way to everybody, but I was happy to see what the impact was, that it wasn't terribly onerous.
In terms of making it more attractive it's called Mass Works. That's the state entity that gives out the grants. And two of their priorities are support of affordable housing and support of economic growth. So another reason why the Briar Lane, I think, was chosen is that it actually supports a number of businesses, including Outer Cape Health, which makes it, again, more attractive for grant funding and obviously the affordable housing.
One of the questions I had from someone was, well, Outer Cape was able to do a well. Why can't we just do a well at 95 Lawrence Road? And I know that it would have to be a public water supply up there. And I can't remember if Laura told us that would make it financially unfeasible.
Right. I don't think we can use a standard Title V well to support the affordable housing density that we're talking about.
Right.
And so we would need to do a public supply, and that would probably be cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
So is there any way of getting some data or information? So if that's brought up at town meeting, you have, someone has an answer as to why we can't use a well?
I am writing that down, and we'll talk about it with Jim and probably, connect with our consultant, Laura Schufelt, too.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that was great. The last joint meeting we had was really good because you all came up with some questions that then we could work on, and so I appreciate, thinking about those things and making sure we can have that info. Sharon?
So back to the fire hydrant question, sorry to bang on this, but there are fire hydrants in the central commercial district, right? And what?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's town water going through the central commercial district, right, of town? And so having improved flow to fire hydrants in there, that would be the most potentially vulnerable area to fire.
Yes.
And everybody would lose if downtown Wellfleet was burned,
Yes.
right?
Didn't we have a
As
fire?
near or far. What, Gary?
Elaine, didn't we have a fire in town hall in the past?
No, 1960, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the second time it burned, I think. I mean, there was the fire,
The fire at the old Left Bank Gallery like 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
well, there was a big one, right near the Congregational Church too. Tony Costello's house burned. I remember walking over to Uncle Tim's Bridge and just seeing the flames shooting up right by the Congregational Church. And they were able to save everything except the house.
So anyway, that's an argument for people who say, but I don't live near a fire hydrant.
Okay, I got it.
I think going back, Elaine, is Is our strategy then to take the newsletter and get it out to, like, for instance, the school? Does it make sense to send it out to the school? Or the COA or the forum or Pres Hall or whatever it may be?
Well, I think I mean, we did send it to all those people last time, I thought, and I know like the forum did a separate email,
Okay.
you know, sending people to it. So we'll do
Right.
everything we can.
So if anybody else has groups that they're involved with and want to send it to, that'd be great.
Mia, I'm gonna hit screen share again. Can you see my screen that you're now? That shows, are you seeing the thing, my thing that says desktop 1 and?
No, I won't. So if you're screen sharing, we won't see anything until you select what screen you want to share.
Yeah, and when I select it, it doesn't go to that one. It goes to,
Yeah, that's the newsletter, Elaine. Can you scroll up?
well, I have it up on my,
Yeah, we see your pointer. Can you scroll up on that screen?
no,
No.
What are you trying to share with us?
the draft of the newsletter,
And this isn't it?
MailChimp one.
This says MailChimp at the top.
Yours says MailChimp?
Yeah.
Mine says Zoom. Jeez.
Elaine, do you see where it says preview mode?
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, she isn't.
Let me see if I can, wait a minute. Here we go. Are you seeing it now?
It's moving.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, now you're able to scroll through it.
Okay, so let's show you our draft, and we would like to get it out tomorrow. Okay,
Did you use the photo without Nancy's?
not, she has the wrong one in here, and
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to think that, well, let's take it in turn. We'll see it.
Okay, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is just explaining it's all about town meeting information, and here's all the dates, which I think is great. And she did put the way we were atop of that picture. Okay, here's ballot question 1. This is the sign outside Sharon's house, but, oh, she did, no, she didn't. We sent her the other one. I'm starting to wonder if we should use this or not first thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's look at yesterday in talking with Belinda, we were just going to have Jim's whole info sheet up here, but it's a lot of information. So Gary did these excellent bullets to shorten it. And then we have a link to Jim's info sheet.
I already sent her a note. She used the Outer Cape Health one twice. I don't know why, but she corrected.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, it says, oh, well, they're two different things, actually.
Right, but not, right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's that. And then a little explanation about the CPA articles, that the funds are already set aside. And then our Article 12 for the emergency rental assistance and regular rental assistance, emergency housing assistance. We have a nice quote from one of our Gull Pond apartment residents. And an explanation. It's kind of long, actually, isn't it?
I think it's okay. It's kind of long, but presumably if you're reading the newsletter, you're interested in this,
Yeah,
you know?
okay. And then this is a graphic from the Cape Cod Commission website, sort of showing where both homeowners and renters are going to be falling short during the COVID period. And the total estimated need in Wellfleet. So that does support, I think, offering the assistance we are able to offer under the CPA. Then we have our buy down article. And then showing that you have to make $120,000 a year to buy a median priced house. And where they say the median income is $69,000, which is really true, but the more realistic income from our top 5 employment sectors is more like $39,000, $40,000.
Yeah, I wish we could change that statistics. It's really not reflective, but it's true.
Yeah, you know.
The median sale price of the homes is when was that compiled? Do you know?
Pretty recently. It's really gone up and down.
Yeah.
She links to here. There's a link, I think, to. Oh, I guess she's not linking to that screen anymore.
Elaine,
Yeah.
the other thing that's a little concerning, it says income needed to affordably rent is 46,000, and it says median income is 69,000.
Yeah.
So it's really not.
I mean, you know, it's the Barnstable County.
No, I understand the
Yeah.
data, but I'm wondering if it serves our purpose.
Right. We could get rid of it.
It would even be more helpful if we had a statistic about the lack of available rentals, because not only are they unaffordable, you can't get one.
I think it says, I think up here, she did, it does say it under the rental thing about homes being bought up and,
Does it? Okay.
yeah.
I don't know if she can edit the chart, because this is under Article 13, which is about home ownership.
Yeah,
So rental really isn't part of the discussion.
right.
Yeah.
It is by implication, but not.
Let's have her either take out that rental part or just do it as a little simple statement.
I agree. I don't know anyone here who makes $70,000 a year. I don't know a single person under the age of 50 who makes that.
Yeah. I mean, a household, you know, if it's 2 people, if they're most making 35, but even a lot of
Yeah.
people aren't making 35.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to the Cape Cod Commission website, and you know, they have a great breakdown of the average monthly salary for a lot of different employment sectors, and you know, the hospitality, the retail is a little over $2,000 a month. So you know,
Yeah.
Because
I guess-
really,
yeah.
if we just said the median price in Wellfleet is currently 529,000, and to afford that, you'd have to make 122,000, and the average or the median income in Wellfleet is about 40,000. Those 3 data points would be fairly telling.
yeah, we wouldn't put the Cape Cod Commission as.
No, I understand.
Thing.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you know,
Yeah.
you're trying to message the affordability gap.
Right. Right. Let's see if it says anything. Okay. And then the Lower Cape Housing Institute, which is CDP's article really, but we certainly hope the town will support it. And then Article 31 about the trust fund and the reasons why we want to change and what the trust can be used to support. So that's it. Helpful comments, very helpful comments. So we'll get
Very
those.
good.
Gary?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I think what needs to be a little clearer, we talked
Mhm.
about before and on Sharon's sign, is the voting yes on question 1, Article 10. I think that needs to be
Yeah.
emphasized. I think that's what it's going to come down to. We need all the arguments, obviously, but I think it needs to be clear to people because I think it can be very confusing. Playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Can you scroll up a little bit, Elaine? Does it say something about that?
Says it in the bullets, but
Article 10. Question 1, Article 10.
That has to say at town meeting or on town.
Yeah, we need to make it
That
clear.
needs to be clear. Yep. It's
Just to
interesting.
cover our, just to cover.
Mhm.
I think it's a good comment, Penny.
Yeah. It's interesting working with Belinda because she's really doing a wonderful job, but she is looking at it not as much from the inside as we are. So you can tell it's not as clear to her as it needs to be either. So,
I think it needs 2 lines.
yeah.
Ballot question 1
Mhm.
on,
Oh, yes.
and then Article 10 at town meeting.
Yeah.
On warrant.
To be said. I didn't, I mean, not that, I didn't understand all this, so, but, sorry, I don't raise my hand, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Elaine?
I don't look at that either. I just look at that.
Elaine,
Yes.
it's ballot question 1, warrant article 10.
Exactly, very good, yeah.
Elaine, we might even put the date down so that people can differentiate,
That's a good idea.
voting September 10th, 12th, or whatever it is, town meeting.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Yeah. Ballot question 1.
Warrant article 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably could be small and say ballot question 1 at town elections and the date.
Mhm.
Warrant article 10 at town meeting and the
Right.
date.
Big letters, vote yes. Fill in the visual.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions about the newsletter? Any more comments? Great. I'm glad we got to see it. However we did.
I think it's great overall. It's very concise, it's helpful, it's readable, and I'm glad that we're sending it out to people.
Thank you. Yeah.
So how is it being distributed?
Well, did you sign up to get it?
I
We-
did.
We have only
Get it,
100.
Karen? Did you get it last time? Do you know?
No, I don't think so.
I can look and see if you're in the, we only have 144 subscribers. So, once you get it,
Yeah, then I would send, could you ask the COA to send it out with their monthly newsletter?
We did last time and we will again this time. So the question is, I got it as I recall. I'm on the COA list. So the COA is certainly. Hey, Ann, are you still there? Ann Suggs? No? We could ask Ann whether she can send it out to Pres Hall list.
If we could have it as a link, do you know if it's possible once it's sent to just have a link to the newsletter? Because then can anybody even hear me?
yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you,
Oh,
Sarah.
yeah, I keep thinking I'm muted. But, it would be something that, I would love to include in emails to people, but as a link that they could click on versus getting the body of the newsletter. Is that possible?
I think last time Belinda sent us the landing page link that we can send to people. So,
So, Elaine,
mhm.
just if you do, whether you use the picture or not is, I don't care either way, but if you do use the picture, make sure it's the one with Nancy's name covered.
Right, exactly.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I kind of think if we use it, I'd rather have the information first and then the picture.
Absolutely, whatever you want to do.
I love it. When I drove by it, I was like, yes. So
Yeah.
that's,
Once we have it finalized, will you put it onto the community forum page, or you or Sharon? Can you do that?
The Wellfleet Community Space, Facebook.
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. I can do that.
Okay.
did I figure out how to do it last time, Mia? I remember.
You did. I mean, I'm happy to do it, but you did I remember I emailed you and I was so excited.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, if you need help, let me know, but it worked fine last time.
Maybe we would do it as a joint effort.
Hi, Kitty. Any more questions about town elections, town meeting? All right. Well, we have a little WHA business. We have our rental assistance that we need to authorize for October, right?
Yes. Do you want me to do the bills now, Elaine?
Do we have, we have other bills too?
Yeah, one more. We have rental assistance in the amount of $1,997. I would entertain a motion to approve that for October rental assistance.
So
I
moved.
move, oh,
Good.
I second. Richard moved and I second.
Any questions on that? It's unchanged from the previous month.
Do we have any new applications?
Not at the moment.
No,
Really?
no.
Wow, okay.
Sharon?
We have a question.
Gary, am I taking notes on the housing authority stuff or just housing partnership?
No, we could reference the Housing Authority minutes just as an attachment
Okay.
from Richard. So it has been moved and seconded. Elaine, any other discussion? No. Should I ask for the vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Good. The second is a bill to pay CDP, which is our technical assistance, the newsletter, $731.25. Would someone like to move that?
So moved.
Excellent. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Very good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Elaine, did we ever actually get the mail?
We haven't had any new mail.
No new mail. So we have no other bills that I know of.
Sarah, while we have you, I know last time, or you told us a little bit about the market conditions. Are things still about the same?
It is truly, I would say, for having done real estate for 25 years, I have never seen anything like this. It's not even rational. You know what I mean? It's just, okay, I'm tired. You know what I mean? There's just, every time something is listed, there is just this, I put a house on the market last week that I tried to value, fairly and put it out there at the right price. And you sit there all, we showed it 25 times in 48 hours and then had 5 offers substantially over asking. Every house on the market is going this way. And I just don't know, people think that we would like this, you know what I mean, as a broker, but it's not, it just feels, I don't know. I think everything this year is so out of whack and this feels equally out of whack. Like it's just, so I don't know how long it'll last or where we're going, but it's kind of unprecedented.
Can I ask you a question, Sarah?
Yeah.
If you're allowed to talk about it, can you tell what percentage of people who are really buying up right now are intending to move here full time, or what percentage are buying second homes?
Intending to move here for this year. I mean, I think
all of them?
Related to most of them, yeah.
Wow.
So I think this is all related to people feeling unsafe in their primary residences and wanting to just be in a place where they feel safe.
Are any of them
But I don't know where that
families?
leaves us as a community a year from now. You know, yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of more. I think I heard there's 10 new kids at Wellfleet Elementary. I know the middle school has a lot of kids.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, 5 of them come from the Habitat for Humanity kids, right?
3 for the elementary school.
I don't have good answers. I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just, I guess just everything this year feels like this situation we're in, you know, with everybody's health and with these bigger political things and all this stuff, it just seems like everything's topsy-turvy, and Wellfleet is too in terms of its real estate market,
Yeah.
just in a way that I wouldn't have expected. Or
Mhm.
So we had a presentation from the Cape Cod Real Estate Association. There's a discussion group about affordable housing that meets once a month. And they said it's also crazy. And they said it was really 2 groups that was driving it. It was people who would retire in a few years are accelerating their retirement and buying. But the other big thing they said in terms of younger families is that many people who work in and around Boston, who are now working remotely, find that they can be outside of the city. And it's obviously all the issues about safety and whatnot. And that for them, a few $1,000s a month in rent is fairly affordable. So a few $1,000s in mortgage to buy a nice house in Wellfleet is equally affordable. And so that we are getting some younger people to come, but I don't know if it's moving the needle very much.
Well, that is in sort of a hopeful sense, one thing that I think about too. If at the end of it, people find that they can work remotely and that we actually grow our year-round population and become a little more self-sustaining and a little less, you know, resort, but, you know, have a larger year-round population with people able to stay remote long-term. I mean, I think that would be a wonderful result, you know what I mean? Can I say one more weird thing? But if anybody knows of anybody, Tony and Joe Gisoni are selling this beautiful little cottage on their property. It's $325,000. They're just selling it privately. They have a sign out, but I would so love for somebody year round to be able to buy it. I mean, with mortgage rates the way they are, it's affordable. It needs heat, but it could be lived in year round, and it's got a little foundation and it's on Pleasant Point. I mean, I've been sort of reaching out to everyone I know year round that might be able to buy it.
I have someone who that might be really good for. So let me send you an email after this because I've been trying to help this person.
Well, and also in that regard, the folks from the real estate group said that the impact on affordability was really twofold. Is it makes home ownership harder for the average wage earner, but that some of the properties being sold were formerly rentals. So it's making a difficult rental vacancy situation even worse because some of those homes are now being taken off the market. But the other thing I wanted to say is that if it passes on the 12th, we could roll out the buy down pretty quickly. So if there's a place like that, that maybe we could help someone buy that house who needed it if it doesn't go sooner than October or November.
Can the buy down be used for a house that doesn't have heat in it?
It would have to be upgraded to include heat, but the cost of that would be, I would think, I shouldn't say that I'm the expert on this, but it can be used for repairs. And would the installation of a heating system be sufficient, fall under that umbrella? I would think so.
Okay.
You know, and things are, I would also say that mortgage rates are so low that I feel like people that couldn't afford to buy before, just on the one other positive side, the rates being so low mean that people that could never touch a house for $400,000 before, all of a sudden those mortgage payments are, you know, $1,200 a month, you know what I mean? So that could maybe potentially help people too. So just in case it was too depressing before.
Maybe that's a reason. I can't remember if we've missed the deadline for a tax insert, but we did well featuring the buy down before, maybe featuring it again with this added information of we're losing them quickly, but if we can save the ones that are reasonably priced, it's a great time for people to buy.
Did we decide to do one, Elaine?
I think we said we did want to. We talked about, yeah, I think we even voted to do it, but I can't remember what the deadline is.
I think it's September 1st. I can inquire, but what is it we want to put in?
Well, I mean, the buy down was a
Buy
huge,
down again?
I think so. I think it's because of what's going on and the timing, you know, the mortgage rates being attractive, but houses getting snapped up so quickly. It's not, I don't know.
Maybe I could send who's that? The collector. I'm trying to think of her name.
Nancy Bale.
No, Nancy is the assessor.
Isn't it Miriam? Is it Miriam the
Miriam
collector?
is the treasurer.
It's, I think it's Karen
Karen, thank you.
Murphy.
Karen Murphy, thank you. I can send her and Brittany an email and just ask whether we could still put something in and if there's space.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
When do we want to meet again, Elaine?
Well, I guess October, or do our regular.
Do you want to
First-
have a meeting after town meeting?
Depends on the results.
Depends on how burnt out we are.
Let me grab my calendar.
The first Thursday in October is the 1st of October, so it
Yeah,
would only be a couple of weeks after town meeting anyway.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe
I
we'll do it on.
I think that would be good. Yeah, yeah.
Sarah,
Yes.
while I have you, after town meeting, we want to put together a small group to look at smaller parcels of town-owned land, with the thought being that we have the Freeman Ave lot, but one house isn't nearly as attractive to developers, Habitat or whomever, as multiple lots. And can we find a couple of buildable single home lots amongst town-owned lands that we could put onto town warrant in the spring? Can we?
So
enlist-
go ahead.
Oh, you know of some?
No, I was just going to say that I have been meaning to tell you that I could set aside, well, except I haven't been able to find the time, but I saw the list you sent with all of them, and it would be fairly easy for me to at least screen it initially. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, so maybe on the October meeting, we can revisit that after town meeting and see how things are and then relook at that, because if we had it by the end of the year, then it could go through the process of putting it on the warrant for town meeting.
Yes, definitely put me on that list, and I'll try to look through what you've already sent.
Thank you.
Sure.
And I don't know if all of you know that Habitat for Humanity is awarding the town of Wellfleet their Community Partner Award at their October annual meeting, which is a very nice thing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Thanks, everyone. Well,
Thank you, Elaine. Thanks for everything you do.
take care.
Is the next meeting October 1st?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't know if it'll be a joint meeting, but
yeah, okay,
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge.
whatever.
okay. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Hello.